What a beauty! Do you notice this hydrangea? Check out the leaves, so green and healthy. Do you want to know how to keep your plants happy and healthy? Stay with me and I will show you in a minute. Be right back. Hello happy YouTubers, Marcelina here at cashewgreens.com. Welcome everyone. So question for you, do you have plants that are struggling right now? If you do, give them the power of hydrogen peroxide. You may already have used hydrogen peroxide in your garden, but for those who haven't and want to know the significant benefits of using H2O2 to plants, I am here today to share the information with you. Before we begin, if you're new here, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss any of our next future videos. Alright, let's get to it. What is hydrogen peroxide? What are the benefits of H2O2 to plants? Does a hydrogen peroxide cause harm to your plants? How do you measure and apply the solution in the garden? These are topics that I'm going to go over with you guys, so stay with me all the way to the end, all right? Basically, hydrogen peroxide is mostly made of water, which is 97% water and only 3% peroxide. It is a chemical compound with the formula H2O2, and that extra 2 oxygen atoms is where the hydrogen peroxide gets its power. Now the question is, does a hydrogen peroxide cause harm to your plants? Well, too much of good things are not good for you, right? So it depends. It depends on the level concentration of the hydrogen peroxide. If it is too much, it burns your plants because of that too much oxygen. Now, the concentration of hydrogen peroxide is ranging from 3% up to 35%. And I would recommend to use the biodegradable, which is in the brown bottle. This is only 3% of peroxide content of this chemical. So it is safe, if they safe, and majority of the gardeners use this product in the garden. Now, what are the benefits of using H2O2 to plants in the garden? Well, there are so many benefits that you can use the hydrogen peroxide. One of the benefits is pre-treating the seeds. Now, just keep in mind that when I used the hydrogen peroxide in the beginning, I did a lot of damage of my plants when I did not have a good germination. So today I'm going to show you how to properly apply this hydrogen peroxide when you pre-treat the seeds. So you only need 1 teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide per cup of water, all right? Now, I'm going to pre-soak the seed. This is moringa seed, so I'm going to pre-soak the seed in 3 to 4 hours. Now, pre-soaking is great for the seed, especially those hard shell, because it allows the seeds to germinate faster. And by adding hydrogen peroxide, it is also preventing the seeds against bacteria or fungal diseases. And one of the problems of the disease in seeds during germination is the damping off. So this is one way to treat your seeds besides using the neem powder. All right, so assuming it is 4 hours, so we're going to take the seeds. So what you will need, you have to dry the seeds. No, hold on, I made mistakes. You have to rinse the seeds. You have to remove that hydrogen peroxide. So after you rinse in water, then you have to dry the seed and then start your germination. So I'm going to germinate this moringa in this 4-inch pot. Now after I germinate the seed, I'm going to label the propagation so I know exactly what seed I germinated. So that is only one benefit. Now the second use of hydrogen peroxide is foliar spray. If you use a foliar spray in a bottle, so this is a quart, so if it is 1 teaspoon per cup, and this is 4 cups, so you need to have 4 teaspoons of this. So I already used the peroxide in here to just save time. So what you will need is to spray, and this is great Hold on. So this is great in pre-treating your hibiscus because hibiscus is very sensitive to neem oil, and if you spray the hibiscus with neem oil, it burns. So by using hydrogen peroxide is just awesome. So this is going to help the leaves to breathe better because you are adding 2 molecules of oxygen to the plants. And then beside adding oxygen, it also, ward those pests and also prevent the fungus disease from attacking your crops or anything that you grow in the garden. So that is that is the second benefit of using the peroxide. You can also, so I have this one here. I already mixed this, so I will give this one to the plant. So instead of throwing it away, and this is also helping the root system to use more oxygen. And if you have container-grown plants, and if they are struggling, then add peroxide to your water and water your plants. So this is going to help the plants breathe faster and also increase absorption of nutrients because the roots has extra oxygen. Now the other way that you can use the hydrogen peroxide, I'm going to show you here. So let's. All right. So another uses of hydrogen peroxide is soaking your plants. So this calanchio was affected by bugs. When I saw it, there was what bugs was that? The white. I cannot remember. Mealybugs. Too much in my mind, guys. So just bear with me, all right? So it was affected by mealybugs. So you can use alcohol with mealybugs, but I soak the root in the peroxide, hydrogen peroxide. So if you're going to soak your root in the peroxide, you can use a bucket, and then 1 bucket, then add 1 cup of peroxide. So I soak this one here, and as you can see, it looks better. So it is already producing new shoot. So I see the bugs is dying. So look at that. It was covered with mealybugs, and now the mealybugs dissipate. So after you have the pre-soaking, after you soak the infected plants, you have to remove the soil. You need to replace a new soil because you don't know if there's still bugs or pests lurking underneath. So as you can see, the root is a little bit brown. So by adding the hydrogen peroxide, this will help the root system absorb good water, proper water and nutrients. So that is another uses. Now you can also use the hydrogen peroxide to spray your seeds, not seeds, to spray your new germinated seedlings. And I'm going to apply the hydrogen peroxide in the larger area. So if you cover a larger area, you will need 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide. So I'm going to take you to the garden. All right, guys, so I'm going to add hydrogen peroxide in this raised bed, and I'm going to use 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide. And there is still a lot of water in this raised bed because we have rain earlier this morning. So I have 1/2 cup, so I will use 2 of this measurement. So I'm going, oh my gosh, it's flooding in here. So I'm going to use this peroxide. So this is 1 and 2. So that is 1 cup. So I'm not going to add water because there is water already from the rain. So that's how you do it, guys. Now I'm going to spray all of my vegetables here, and I will show you guys the result from 2 weeks of application. All right, so let's see the result. These are the okra, guys. Look at that. Look at how beautiful my okra. So the moringa, here's my moringa. It's beautiful. So you can add foliar spray to ward those pests and diseases, and also it helps oxygenation, give that oxygen on the leaves of the plants. So that is how awesome is hydrogen peroxide. So if you have any question, guys, comments below. And also if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and also like the video if you enjoy watching the video, and share the information with all your friends. It's dark in here. Can you see me? So thank you for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye. Stay green and grow big. Look at my Malabar. Healthy.
What is it doing?
So it gives extra oxygen to the plants.
Doesn't kill any insects or anything like that?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So if you're into organic, this is the best way to go.
How about, does it kill aphids?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah,
Mealybugs?
I tried it one time, and also you can use hydrogen peroxide if you have a plant that is suffering from root rot. So I have one plant that was affected with, I watered too much and it rot the root. So what I did, I used 1% of, no, I used 3% of hydrogen peroxide, and I soaked the root, and right now it's in the healing process.
What about if I'm taking cuttings from, let's say, roses? I take a cutting from the roses. We all know that a lot of our cuttings don't survive because they get that black rot on the end of it.
But
if you put some hydrogen peroxide in your water, would you recommend
that would
doing
help.
that?
Yeah, I would recommend that. That would help.
Now the evaporation process will take place with hydrogen peroxide as it gives up that one extra oxygen molecule. How often do I have to add another teaspoon to that water to keep it viable?
If you're using, I would say, maybe if they're dry in a week, maybe you
Not
water
dry,
them.
just the fact that you got water in here with
Oh,
hydrogen peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide is going to dissipate over time. It's going to lose that hydrogen peroxide. It's going to evaporate. So I need to put another teaspoon in there. Do I need to do it daily or every other day?
Well, because it evaporates so quickly, you should.
At least
You
once
should
a day.
at least once
right?
a day. Yeah, you should.
That's a good experiment. You guys should try that out there. Try putting a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide in your water that you're using for your cuttings, and see if you get a higher success of rooting.
Yeah, and also add this one to your hydroponics if you even don't. So how much hydrogen peroxide if you are going to cover a large area?
Well, you have to calculate how many gallons of water that you're using.
I would say that add 1 cup. I had 1 cup.
Like in
So
your fish tank over here, you got 500 gallons of water. You're going to have to figure out, you're going to use 8 teaspoons of hydrogen peroxide per gallon. So it's 8 times 500. And how many ounces is that?
That would,
you got to figure out how many ounces are in a teaspoon, right? You might have to put like this whole bottle in the pond.
Yeah. Do you know that it lists oxygen if the temperature of the water is warm? Maybe that's why your tilapia was gasping.
No, there was too many fish in one tank. That was a 1,000-gallon tank, and there was probably 50 pounds of fish in that tank.
Yeah.
They just choked themselves up because they breed like crazy, and we just weren't eating them fast enough.
So you can also use hydrogen peroxide to clean your tools. So you can add foliar spray to ward those pests and diseases, and also it helps oxygenation, give that oxygen on the leaves of the plants. So that is how awesome is hydrogen peroxide. So if you have any question, guys, comments below. And also if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and also like the video if you enjoy watching the video, and share the information with all your friends. It's dark in here. Can you see me? So thank you for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye. Stay green and grow big. Look at my Malabar. Healthy.